Hi, I want to welcome you to the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare webinar on using your fork and your knife to take control of how you eat and feel. I'm going to share some easy tips to help you stay sane because, yeah, the world is upside down right now, but your eating doesn't have to be. So this is me and my family. You can see we're all smiling. So this is clearly before our lock-in in the house together because we're not smiling so much now. My name is Sue Levy, and I'm the founder of Savory Living. I'm a behavior change expert, and I've spent 20 years creating programs to help people improve their health. And my mission is to make millions of lives better with the power of food as medicine. I know firsthand what's possible when you eat to reduce inflammation and get your eating working better for you. So I'm 49 years old, and when I was in my mid-30s, my health started to change. I had headaches, digestive issues, I had IBS, acid reflux, delayed gastric emptying, my cholesterol and triglycerides were rising, and I was diagnosed with an ultra-rare and progressive lung disease that I live with today. They told me it wasn't good when I got diagnosed. They said, you're most likely going to need a lung transplant in 10 years' time. And only half of the women are alive 10 years after a transplant. So you can imagine to hear that I might only have until I was 50, 40 years old to live was pretty show-stopping. But I'm an optimist. And they said lifestyle intervention maybe could help. So I went back to school to study nutrition. And I put into place what the experts had to say about eating to support your health and slow down disease. And when done correctly, healthy eating reduces inflammation, which is connected to most of the major diseases and conditions of our time. And when I figured out how to activate it in my life, well, that's when the real transformation happened. I took off the belly fat, no more headaches, cholesterol and triglycerides were normal, and I'm going to knock on wood here because it's now about 14 years and I'm not on a single medication to manage my digestive issues, and my lungs have been holding firm and strong. And my moods and my energy and my sleep, it all just got so much better. What I know is that what they tell you is right. How you eat really matters, but changing it can be so hard to do. One size doesn't fit all, but you gotta figure it out, and it's really possible. And changing it requires some new knowledge, new food skills, and the support to make it happen. And so I created Savory Living to put that power in everyone's hands, to help you figure it out and create a lifestyle that works for you. So I'm excited to share some things to help you now. So our goal is you in control, right? You eating and feeling awesome. And especially now with COVID-19, you want to be safe and strong. So that's thinking about your immunity and the role that inflammation plays in the virus's destruction. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what inflammation, what it is, why it matters, some signs that you want to look at. I'm going to show you how healthy eating reduces inflammation and can help boost your immune system's functioning. And I'm going to give you some easy tips and ideas to make it happen. So your health, it's really about taking action. And if I said to you, tell me the 3 things that would help you feel better and boost your immunity, my guess is you probably know what those 3 are. The big 3 are I got to exercise and move, I got to eat better, and I got to get a good amount of sleep, and I got to manage the stress in my life. And these 3 are supporting your immune system. The one that we are going to focus on is eating better because you have so much agency with that fork and your knife, and you can't outmaneuver a bad diet. So here's the opportunity. This is from Harvard Medical School, and I love their stuff. And they basically say research since the 90s shows beyond all doubt that you can lower your risk for the most serious diseases of our time just by following a healthy diet. And there's general consensus out there on what that foundation is. So if you look at the Heart Association, the Diabetes Association, the Cancer Society, you look at the diets that perform the best from a health outcome standpoint or a kind of a compliance standpoint, people can enjoy living and eating on them, like the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, or you look at Harvard's Healthy Eating Plate for guidance, they're basically saying get your foundation lined up. And at its core, what healthy eating is doing is it's reducing inflammation. So think of inflammation like this smoldering fire that's burning inside you, and it's destroying healthy blood vessels, tissues, and cells. And that's why it's linked to a lot of the conditions and things I'm going to take you through next. So if you see yourself in any of these things, it's a sign you've got inflammation in your system. So if you're living with extra belly fat, I'm going to share with you the number you want to look at there. It's about your belly circumference. It's really not about your BMI. If you have heart disease and stroke, so high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, immune and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, chronic fatigue, multiple sclerosis, thyroid, allergies like asthma, eczema, anything with an itis is a sign of inflammation. Pain, so things like headaches and migraines, joint pain, arthritis, fibromyalgia, or digestive issues like IBS, Crohn's, colitis, ulcers, gas, bloating, heartburn, constipation, or diarrhea. You can get relief. This is about inflammation. Or type 2 diabetes, so metabolic syndrome or high blood sugar. Brain conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia, depression, ADD, Parkinson's, seizures. And then there's cancer. And they now believe that COVID-19 is connected to inflammation. This is from the New York Times, and they say, doctors have found that some of the serious damage infected adults have endured has been caused not just by the virus itself, but by an aggressive immune response that creates destructive inflammation in the body's organs. Turns out half of us are walking around living with a disease or condition that's driven by inflammation and improvable with diet. So things like anxiety and depression, fatigue, belly fat, joint pain, digestive issues, headaches and migraines, skin conditions, food sensitivities, and then the chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, autoimmune cancers. So these are signs, and you can do something with your fork and your knife to help. Here's the challenge though. For over half of us say, it's easier to do my taxes than it is to figure out how to make healthy eating happen. And I think that's just criminal, and that's translating into the bulk of us not making significant improvements in our diet quality over the past 10 years. And I believe the reason why is there's no end of solutions out there to help you, right? Weight loss programs, diets, meal plans, articles, recipes, meal kits, prepared foods, supplements, shakes, bars, food discounts, even workshops like this one, right? They won't get you to lasting change. And I believe it's because they're missing the key components. If we really want you to move forward with behavior change, we got to approach it in that way. And so you have to learn how to eat and what works right for you. We've got to connect the dots so it solves way more than just your weight. Your headaches are gone. Your digestive issues have cleared up. No more eczema flare-ups. That's solving it. And you need new food skills. What do you eat instead? How do you make it taste great? How do you get it on the table in minutes? How do you reduce the stress around food? And it's got to all be wrapped in a behavior change program that guides you through easy, gradual change. That's what I've created with Savory Living, and I've found that for the thousands of people that have been through my program, these ingredients are essential. And I'm excited to share some of this stuff with you today. So let's talk about inflammation. It's a key immune system response. It protects us from infections. It coordinates an attack to counter these foreign threats. And it also helps your body heal. So if you run and you twist your ankle and it swells up, that's your body's response to trauma and injury to protect you while it's healing. And it's usually temporary in duration, which means it stops once your healing begins. The issue is when inflammation isn't stopping. So that's when your immune system gets activated and it's not shutting down. And it's dangerous because it's setting the stage for most of the major diseases and conditions of our time, the things I shared with you on those slides. And again, the reason why is it's destroying healthy blood vessels, tissues, and cells. And they look at the coronavirus and think what it's doing is it's hijacking your immune system and it's creating more inflammation in your system. So what causes inflammation, right? Well, it's when your immune system gets activated, so you get an infection or a virus. It's when you're living with chronic diseases that your immune system is activated, or if you live with an autoimmune condition. And also, if you're eating foods you don't digest well and they are leaving your digestive tract and making their way into your bloodstream, your immune system gets activated to clean it up. Think of it like spill in aisle 7 in the supermarket, and it gets activated and churns and gets going. There's also lifestyle interventions, so how we eat. If we're not pulling in enough of the good stuff like the vegetables, if we're taking in too much sugar, it's creating inflammation. If we're not sleeping well, if we're under chronic stress, sound like modern life? And if you're taking a chronic usage of a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug like an ibuprofen, naproxen sodium, and aspirin. Sad to say, as I'm coming close to 50, that aging is connected to inflammation. So your immune system just gets less well regulated as you get older, and you're secreting cytokines that are inducing inflammation. Also, are you carrying that extra belly fat? So there's a high risk belly circumference. Get a tape measure out, don't suck in. Men, if you're 40 inches or higher, women 35 or higher, you've got inflammation, you got to bring that belly fat down, and healthy eating will help you do that. People always ask, well, what are the foods then that are connected to inflammation? And I'm going to list these and talk to you about the ones that reduce it, the ones that cause it. But honestly, if you really want to reduce inflammation, you got to look at it in a more kind of holistic, how you're eating across the board approach. But these are the foods that have been proven to reduce inflammation: tomatoes, olive oil, green leafy vegetables like kale, collard greens, spinach, nuts, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, sardines, fruits like strawberries, blueberries, cherries, oranges, and coffee. These are the foods that increase inflammation. So fried foods, sodas, refined carbs. By that, I mean a white grain product, lard, processed meats. So if you really want to reduce inflammation, which I think we all should be focusing on, these are the two key actions that are really essential. Think of it like there's the plus side of the house, which you want to add in, and then there's the minus side, the things you want to take out, and really focus on the add in, because you'll have so much agency there. But what you basically want to do is you want to eat more of some foods and less of others. And this is even in the world of healthy foods. It's not all the same. And then you want to identify what you're not digesting well, because those undigested food particles are, if your immune system's getting activated, it's creating inflammation in your system. So let's go through some tips, right? Focus on the plus side of the house. Crowd in the really good stuff. You want to make vegetables and fruits half of what you're eating a day. And when I say eat the rainbow, and I mean it, I don't mean Skittles, right? Colors, half cooked, half raw. You want to pull in green. It's awesome, real fast way to get nutrient-rich stuff into you. You want to crowd in healthy proteins, so plant proteins like the beans, the lentils, the nuts, the seeds, lean chicken, lean fish, and if you're going to have the red meat, go for lean cuts and have it no more than once a week. Include those healthy fats, so the nuts double as the protein and the fat, just go for unsalted versions, olive oil, olives, avocados. Tip 2. These are the foods that cause inflammation and you want to have less of them. Fried foods, things like those potato chips and the fried chicken. Packaged processed meats, even if you're buying organic, uncured, they are connected to and creating inflammation in your system. Tip 3 is think about the amount of sugar in your day. So when I say sugar, it's sugar, right? So it's agave, it's honey, it's maple syrup. There's no like, it's from the Himalayas and it's healthy and no, it dates sugar. It's sugar is sugar is sugar. The problem isn't that we're having sugar, it's that we're taking in 3 times the amount that our bodies were ever designed to handle, and that's creating inflammation in our system. The next tip is you want to identify the foods you're not digesting well. So it's more than just digestive issues. They're causing problems. So undigested food particles are leaving your gut and making their way into your bloodstream. Your immune system is getting activated, and understanding that. So if you can get those foods out of your day or eat less of them, you'll have a real impact. And that knowledge is power. And so let's identify the ones that are a problem for you. And when you're in a state of inflammation, it can be really hard to tell which foods are a problem. So you need a systematic way to figure it out. And that's what we do for folks in my program to really understand stuff. Here are some signs that you might have a food sensitivity. So you have anything digestive related. So GERD, IBS, Crohn's, colitis, heartburn, bloating, gas, cramping, constipation, diarrhea. Or if you're living with any of these conditions, you want to look at the food sensitivity angle. So headaches, fatigue, depression, anxiety, joint pain, eczema, ADHD, iron deficiency anemia, fibromyalgia, RA, Hashimoto's disease, cancer, thyroid conditions. So let me share some tips that I want you to leave this workshop and put into action, right? Don't make yourself crazy. Just pick a few things you're going to do. And I'm going to give you some tips for how to do it. We're going to get you choosing better packaged processed foods. We're going to show you how to crowd veggies into the meals and snacks you and your family like to already eat. And we're going to show you how to assemble to make it really easy. So how do you choose better packaged foods? Look, we all need them. The challenge is a lot of packaged foods out there are really just empty calories. So they don't have a lot of nutrition. So there's the opportunity cost, right? You're not pulling in good stuff and you're eating, but they're also higher in sugar, fats, and salt. So what you want to do is flip it over and read the ingredient panel. Fewer ingredients is better, and make sure it's real food that you recognize. But the second tip I want to teach you is how to also get the sugar down in your day by making better packaged foods choices. So I told you you can have sugar, right? And this is a tool that we teach people in my program, and just for the packaged foods you're consuming. So don't think about other foods that aren't in a package. This is how many grams you can have a day in the foods you buy that are in a package. So for women, it's 24 grams. Men, it's 36. Teenagers, 20 to 32, up to the age of 10, 18 grams, kind of that, and then the younger kind of toddler kids are at 16 grams. So know your number, right? Remember the grams. Because when you buy food, turn it over and read the labels and add it up and stick to your daily limit in your packaged foods, which is what this number is. So for example, this power bar is just one bar, right? You look at the serving size and I look down to sugar, it has 29 grams of sugar. So it skunks me as a woman. And so that's where I might be off, just some of these foods that I'm choosing and eating. So your job is to take that information and use it for change, right? So just choose versions with less sugar. Instead of the Larabar at 24, go for the Kind Bar at 5. Instead of the Raisin Bran version of Total that has the raisins covered in sugar at 17 grams, go for the plain and even throw your own raisins on there at 5 grams. Don't get me started about flavored yogurts and smoothies, and you go for this, you're like, it's organic, it's a smoothie, it's 38 grams of sugar. Ow. Instead, if you're going to have the yogurts, go for the Greek, which is higher in protein. Get plain, add your own fruit, even add your own honey or agave and your own vanilla in it, and you'll be way better off. Develop a taste for water. Check out some of these numbers. 20 ounces of soda is 65, sports drinks 34, kids juices can be anywhere from 16 to 40. Vitamin water 32, iced tea 24, energy drinks 23. Ice lemonade. Oh, I used to drink this all the time before I knew what I was doing. And 27 grams per cup. And then look at orange juice, 22 grams. So this is where you might be getting knocked off balance. Flavored water. So a lot of people are like, I don't want plain water. Okay. You don't like it with bubbles? Go for the Hint brand. They have flavors in them. You want bubbles? Go for a seltzer with bubbles. Go for regular coffee. So have that coffee, throw your milk in it, your cream in it, way better than the blended coffee drinks, which are basically milkshakes. I know we're not spending a lot of time at these places now, but the reality is when you have a small, you're pulling in anywhere from 45 to 65 grams or anywhere from 85 to 140. So let's talk about how you can crowd some stuff in, right? And pick 1 or 2 places a day. I'm a big fan of a breakfast smoothie. It's a green smoothie, and if you go to savoryliving.com on my blog, you'll see a video and a recipe for it. The goal is to get the greens and the blueberry into you, and it's got to be cold enough, and it's got to be sweet enough, and it's got to have protein in it. Green eggs. So with my kids, I blend the spinach into the eggs in my blender, and I make scrambled eggs, or I jam the frozen veggies into my omelet. Think about, can I get something into my breakfast and power up my day? And then think about, how do I crowd these vegetables into my other meals? So add it to your favorites. Look for recipes and jam it into them. Last night I was making tikka masala in my Instapot, and instead of following the recipe just as they did with chicken, I was like, I'm gonna get some chickpeas in that too, and I'm gonna get some frozen spinach in that too. I'm gonna bump up the veggies and plant stuff into what I'm eating. So you can order double veggie when we get back out to restaurants, but this is an example, right? There's a soup I'm making, I jam the spinach into it. It's taco night, I throw beans and some food and veggies into my mix there. I'm making some different recipes. Let me look for a bean salad that has vegetables in it, and get yourself some awesome containers to assemble into. That's half the battle, honestly, not being stuck in, how do I create a sandwich again? Another kind of sandwich. No, just get these things that you have to fill with more of the foods you want to be eating. And you gotta learn how to create flavors. That's the key to unlocking the picky eater. So people enjoy types of food. If I ever say to somebody, why aren't you eating more beans? They'll say, well, you know what? I don't like Mexican food. And I say, all right, every global cuisine uses a bean. You like Italian food? That's a white bean. That's garlic, olive oil, splash of lemon. Bam, you've created the Italian flavor profile, right? So people tend to like profiles. Figure out the ones you like and learn how to create those profiles and surround the foods that you love. In my program, we teach you how to do that. We also teach you how to flavor balance. So instead of just adding salt, there's these 4 notes: sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. And when you balance a dish perfectly, it's got those elements in it and really tastes great. Stock up on frozen. They are your friend, especially now. They are full of nutrients because they're frozen right when they're picked. And so there's 2 ways to do it. Instead of like how they tell you on the box, which is like over steaming the heck out of it, frozen vegetables are already pre-cooked. So what you want to do is, if you're throwing them into something like your omelet or a mixed pasta dish or anything, what you want to do is just thaw them for a couple minutes in a bowl of cold water, strain them, and then toss them in and flavor them up. Another thing I love to do is, so if you can see in the lower right there, there's tons of frozen vegetables now. There's grilled, there's oriental mixes, you name it. And I found this one that I love. It's a grilled vegetable one. And I take it frozen and I toss it into a pan with olive oil, garlic, hit it with a splash of lemon, and bam, that thing is just awesome and tastes really great. Get your snacks to work harder for you. So plan to have 2 snacks. Make the first one vegetable and protein and the second fruit and protein, and eat them in that order. So is it cut up peppers with hummus? Is it cucumbers with cashews? Is it olives and carrots with a hard-boiled egg? For the fruit one, is it apples with a beet hummus? And there's tons of blended hummuses and things you can get from the market already made. Is it fruit with nuts? Is it clementines with string cheese? Assemble, assemble, assemble. And set a plan for yourself for the day. I do this with my kids. You go through number 1, the fruit and protein, number 2, veggie and protein, and yeah, then you can have your crunchy snack. 1, 2, 3. Pack it up and get organized. So a lot of times what happens, especially now that we're home and I've got like 3 kids and everybody's always hungry and wants to eat, and how do I basically pack everyone's everything for the day. Like they're going off to school, I'm going off to the office. And you have it set so you've thought about it once, you don't have to keep thinking about it over the course of the day, and then you've got your stuff, you're eating it, and you've made it less stressful and also a better stuff because you consciously are focusing on what you're eating. So you got this. Pick a few of these actions, choose better packaged foods, look at that sugar, crowd veggies into the meals and things you're eating, and make it super easy by assembling and organizing yourself. So if you are ready to really take control and eat to reduce inflammation, I want to talk to you about a really awesome offer for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare members. We talked about how you got to eat more of some things, eat less of others, and identify what you're not digesting well. And my program will help you do that. You can improve your life with food. And what we are offering to Harvard Pilgrim members is a free trial of the first session. Spend a week with us. You'll get an anti-inflammatory diet to start working for you. It's a great first session. The way the program works is there's 12 sessions total, and we are guiding you through change. You are learning how to activate healthy eating to reduce inflammation. It's designed for all eaters and skill levels, and there's a proven 12-session nutrition and cooking curriculum. It includes a private coach that's working with you through the program, and it's FSA and HSA eligible, and it runs online 24/7 on your schedule. You go slower, as slow as you need to go. Nothing's piling up, nothing's stressing you out, and it runs on any device that you have. The key ingredients to changing how you eat is you got to discover how to eat right for you. You got to connect the dots to solve more than weight loss. Get rid of those headaches, those digestive issues, the joint pain, feel better, and learn the food skills to turn it into something awesome that you and your family loves. And we wrap it in a way that guides you through easy, gradual change. Our unique approach is inflammation and lifestyle, so we'll get you to experience more than weight loss. We'll show you how to do this so that you're empowered to do this and eat well no matter where you are. We're going to teach you the why behind the science, and we're going to show you how to cook and flavor food so that it tastes amazing. And our platform and our methodology and how we move you through things is an easy way to get there. This is our proven 12-session culinary nutrition program curriculum. It covers a nutrition topic that you need to activate in your life each session, and then it covers a cooking and food topic so that at the end of this, you have everything you need to sustain an easy lifestyle. We'll teach you how to cook and create tons of flavors and do the flavor balancing that I talked about. We'll give you tons of ideas and help you discover new foods to get more of these things into your day. We have 97% program motivated and taught me how to eat better. 95% got me to a healthy eating lifestyle I'm still practicing. 92% helped me improve my overall health. I encourage you to check out the webpage that I give you so you can just read more. We've got a 4.7 out of 5-star review, and people come into the program with their goals and want to achieve them. These are just 2 quotes. In the last 5 years, I hadn't been able to lose even 1 pound. I had frequent migraines and always had stomach issues, even though I was a healthy eater. After changing my eating habits, I have not had 1 migraine in an entire year. My stomach issues are gone and I sleep so much better. In addition, I lost 20 pounds, kept it off, and feel great. This program really is life-changing. The combination of nutrition, coaching, and cooking is what makes this an achievable lifelong change in my diet. What I didn't know is the healthy foods I was eating were not healthy for me. Now I know what I can and cannot eat, and this knowledge is power. For the first time in a long time, I am in control of my health and my appearance, and it is now 3 months since I finished the program, and I've continued to lose weight. I am down 25 pounds. Here's the Harvard Pilgrim member special offer. You get to experience the first session completely for free. Spend 7 days with us. You'll activate your anti-inflammatory lifestyle. And after that week, if you decide you want to sign up and continue, you can. If not, that's fine. You've got some great information and you're off and running. If you choose to sign up, there's the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare discount where you save 25%. It's just $8.25 a week. It's FSA and HSA eligible. And you pay as you go, and you can stop anytime with a click. And if you sign up through Harvard Pilgrim, I, Sue Levy, the founder, will be your coach. So where you want to go is www.savoryliving.com/Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So take care of yourself and your family during this challenging time. And I'm really excited to hear from you if you want to connect with me and get a better sense of what you've found. Take care and be well.